So I just wanted to cover the pitched Batman Beyond animated movie that was inspired by the Spiderverse. And I specifically wanted to cover the plot, even though this would be speculation, since only the images were released online. But from this, we likely know that one version would have consisted of a revamping of the Batman Beyond timeline by retelling the origin story of Terry McGinnis. And this version pretty much would have just been the first season of Batman Beyond converted into a movie. And the film would have taken place during the entire first year Terry was Batman. And with the concept art, we see that Ink would have been the primary antagonist for this version, and really this was due to her characteristics being a perfect fit for this style. And we really don't know too much besides this just being a pretty similar story to the original series. The second version would have been similar to this in the form of an origin story for Terry, but some significant plot deviations here though. And this would be primarily inspired from the White Knight Batman Beyond comics, where Terry works for Derek Powers at the beginning, and later is convinced by Powers to steal the Batman Beyond suit from Bruce Wayne. However, what's significant here is that you have the rest of Batman Beyond playing out pretty similar to the original, as Terry later sides with Bruce after learning that Powers killed his father. And then you would have Derek Powers being the primary antagonist for the rest of the film. And then you have the third version, which would have been the most significant plot deviation from the previous two versions. But the key here is that this would have been a continuation of the DCAU or the original Batman Beyond timeline, as it would have taken place right after the epilogue episode. And the movie would have started with Bruce Wayne's funeral. And from this, you would have Terry McGinnis continuing to carry the mantle of Batman, but this version also would have featured other members of the Bat family. For example, you would have had Matt McGinnis, or Terry's younger brother, being the new Robin, in addition to several other new Bat family members. And this version would have also featured Dick Grayson as the new mentor-like figure for the Bat family, even though you would have Terry also being a leader since he would be around his 30s during this time. And you also have speculation that this version would have been a multiversal level project, with multiversal villains being the primary antagonist here. And this also would have led to having several Justice League members make cameos in this movie as well. So I really think any of these three versions would have been very interesting in their own ways. My personal favorite would probably just be remaking the original series as it is, so something maybe closer to the first version. The second would probably be my least favorite out of these three, but I do think having a unique spin on the project could be interesting in certain ways. And as far as the third one, I think this would be a close second to just remaking the original series, as I do think a continuity follow-up to the Batman Beyond show would be intriguing. And looking at some of the concept art, you don't really see any images of Terry's face, so it is definitely possible that this was a consideration. But again, all of this would be rumors since you don't have any confirmation of any of this. And I really think even in addition to these versions, I just think the whole world of Batman Beyond would be really perfect for this type of animation style. And I think even a lot of the other villains from Batman Beyond would be a perfect fit here. I really think the cyberpunk futuristic aesthetic with lots of flying cars could be something that's easier to continue adapting in animation than it would be to get in live action, even though I'm also really eager or interested for a Batman Beyond live action adaptation as well. I really think due to the success of the Spiderverse and the niche audience for Batman Beyond, that this could have been a really interesting project. So hopefully there's still some room for its development in the future, even though it hasn't been greenlit at the moment. But feel free to let me know which of these versions would have been your favorite, or if you have any other ideas for what you would want to see in a future Batman Beyond project. And I'll see you later.